JB, we've got Resumatic, we've got Archer Lewis, two players that I don't think anybody's surprised if you've watched, any of this. You're not too surprised to see them in. Resumatic, our number one seed, Archer Lewis, our defending champ. What do you think about this one?
I mean, I just had the ability to play Resumatic, and Resumatic was posting not just silver worthy 6 to 9 times. Those are stuff we see in top 16, and same with Archer. Archer looking to I believe be one of the first in a while to win 2 consecutive silver brackets. So going to be a big match here. Resumatic's got a lot to prove. This is his first tournament, so looking real forward to this Clash of Titans.
Yeah, and of course, you got me looking to see who's the last player to win two silvers in a row was.
Well,
I am not even sure.
Well, we've
Probably
got
Dave.
three, two, one pills here, and a good setup for both players. Remember, we're playing 8 to 11 now. This is best of three. This is what you would see in round two in our top 16 bracket. And both these players on a little bit of a struggle here, but just trying to make their pill combinations work. This red yellow not optimal for Archer, but a nice horizontal, and then converts that into a nice double as well. It's even Steven here as we're about 30 seconds in.
Unfortunately, Resmatic not having a lot of blue access. Finding that blue pill over on the left hand side, or blue virus on the left hand side rather. But yeah, it's been a little tougher on that side for him. See kind of how the pills shake out. And just because I did look it up, it was the Dave who was the last one to win back to back. That was in June and July of last year.
All right. So Archer looking to join the history books here. It is 18 to 14 here. Archer holding on to a lot of a lead and a huge cross, converting that into a combo as well. Gonna take that yellow piece or those yellow pieces off and just kind of reduce some drop time here. 10 to 14. Although Archer has the lead, I would argue that Resumatic has the cleaner board here. Is going to be setting up for a horizontal and gets that triple horizontal as well. One blue left on Resumatic's board here. Looks like he's going to try to convert this into a horizontal clear and another horizontal along that bottom, keeping the integrity of the setup on that third row here. Meanwhile, Ook Archer is having a heck of a time with a blue endgame here.
Yeah, blue end games suck. There's just no getting around them.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Both these players down to their final virus, and it looks like Resumatic out at a 202 and Archer out at a 207.
Yeah. No dabba dee dabba dies. Blues just suck. That's 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 the way it is with end games. But glad to see both players getting out of what could have been just a real long slog of an end game process. And I like what I'm seeing from Resumatic. Some down the board play. Seeing that double blue way down in at the bottom of the board and finding a use for it. Would have loved to have seen a blue red go down there as well and kind of start building that horizontal, but the pills show up when they show up.
Ooh, Archer making a play that I don't think they were quite fond of over in column six. That's going to be a big plug in the works here. Resumatic is still playing a really clean board, and that's really just been the story of Resumatic this entire tournament. Is just keeping more of a priority on keeping the board clean, trying to balance those pill combinations where he's able to. And we call that boring Dr. Mario, but it's why you have such good players at speed because they keep that just balance on the board.
Yeah, Rhizomatic looking, waiting, hoping to not have to deal with those blues as garbage, and ended up having to do it anyway. That's the way it goes. And yeah, looking at this column 6 here for Archer, this was the one that you saw that misdrop on earlier, and you hate to see something like that be a game changer, but right now that is what it is doing. I do like that a a couple of yellows, especially a red yellow, would be very helpful, and then Archer would be able to handle this under clear style. But right now, that particular pill not showing up and getting yourself, reliant upon a single pill. Oh my gosh, did not see that build. That was some next level stuff.
Yeah, and Archer's had these double blues, and I know Archer's a big combo player. Doesn't really like those single clears, and it looks like another misplay there. But is going to get everything and get a combo here. But had those double blues and could have just immediately taken things out. And you've got to get down to those simple fundamental plays when your board is plugged up like that. You're rocking a spire with garbage on the top. You've just got to find creative ways to get out of it. And this has opened up a huge lead for Resomatic.
That was about as creative a setup as I've ever seen, though. I mean, that was garbage build way up in there.
Yes.
As yep, it's about a 20 virus lead for Resmatic now.
All right. And as we continue to get things going here, 23 virus lead here for Resomatic. Resomatic maybe hoping for a ride on the double red train here, or maybe setting it up. Oh, and has the setup. Lovely. We'll have to forego setting up that blue just a little bit, but it won't be too big of a deal here. And just going to combo it out and log out at a 533. One level left to go for Resomatic.
A fat log for Archer as well, though, not to be outdone. As yeah, Archer just struggling through a board that doesn't have any blue up till the later parts of it, and getting some great cross clears though. That is going to really simplify this board. Uh, right now, Archer just thinking vertically and horizontally at the same time, always a good thing to do. But yeah, it's still a bit of a mess at the last part of this board. So we'll just have to wait and see what they're able to do.
12 to 24 here. Archer has closed the gap quite a bit. Um, Although Archer is on level 10, so I do apologize for that. But we're seeing Archer really start to put on the Jets here. But this has just been an immaculate setup here for Rez. Rez is just absolutely rocking this board here. Looks like that might have been a little misplay or maybe a setup for a blue vertically. We'll see what happens in that center row. And it looks like, yeah, we are going to drop that down. And then another really nice horizontal here. This is some really just fantastic play and uncharacteristic here from Archer. Seems like that misdrop one level ago has really just sunk their momentum a bit.
I mean, it's very possible. But regardless, this is definitely a level where you just go, okay, that's good enough. I'll try it again and kind of put this one behind you. As Rez is
Absolutely.
now just a few reds away, depending on how they come from finishing this off.
Nice high elevation clear from Archer. If that was versus, I would have been screaming just at how high elevation and clutch that was. But it looks like that Rez just kind of hoping for that final red, getting it out at a 741. And that is a fantastic time for 8 to 11. Good Lord.
Yeah, this is good time, and we were saying in the break, it's not going to be long before Rez is looking at the main bracket, and I think that is definitely the case. Maybe going to play a little spoiler here next month in our final speed brackets of the year before the year-end finals.
Rez saying, "Don't make me go to gold." No, you definitely deserve to go into gold. Both these players very gold worthy here. As we get into our second game, Archer looking to fight for his tournament life. Resomatic looking to, in his rookie debut, just absolutely go undefeated in this silver bracket, which has been the case. Resomatic has not given up a crown yet. Ook, you're not Dave. Dave's the guy restreaming.
Yeah, yeah. And we almost saw that actually throughout the main bracket earlier with Packy, right up until the finals, not taking a loss either. But yeah, didn't quite work out for Influx, our main bracket winner. Let's see if it'll work out for Resomatic. who does really not have a use for a lot of yellow here.
Yeah, and was just given an immediate just blockade, but really making the most of it here. It is, meanwhile, Archer again with a little bit of garbage up top here. And I think it's just, if I'm Archer here, I'm not really thinking about big combos. I just want to get through the board. I You don't want to get too fancy here. We've seen that Resomatic just plays that straight fundamental game, all about speed, not all about combos, and gets that nice rotation there. And it's also needed to be said that Resomatic playing on medium speed, and in that early game, medium speed is incredibly beneficial to an early game player.
Yeah, I mean, and even some of us still play on it in competition, even at higher level play. Sometimes it's just the maneuverability is what you're looking for,
Hmm.
and it gets to a point where you get dependent on the specific rhythms. And if you're accustomed to
Oh,
medium, that's one thing. If you're accustomed to high, it's another. It can really be two very different games.
yeah, and Archer has taken a lead here. Resomatic, I think, was doing setup upon setup upon setup here, and I think got a little overcomplicated with it, and they're a little bit buried in that lower left portion. This has given Archer a chance to take a huge lead here. It is now an 8 virus lead for Archer, as Archer continuing to pour on some aggression here. I really, really like these setups, and we're going to get a horizontal, a little bit of red garbage, but that didn't hurt anybody here as Archer is continuing to have good setups here, is going to combo down. Now, normally you don't want the drop time, but given that setup, I think that was a good play.
And I like the heads up garbage clears from Resomatic as well, who was looking at some difficulties and managed to knock them out. As we see Archer out just over 10 minutes, or just over 2 minutes, sorry, and
Ooh.
Resomatic not going to be far behind. It's about 8 or 9 seconds behind as they head into level 9.
But Archer has been pouring on the clears here. Looks like a bit of a misdrop in that column 3, but this double red can be very helpful here in assisting in getting that cleaned up a bit here. Archer also just, the reason I went ooh earlier is Archer had to go for a really big horizontal tuck and managed to nail it. And it looked a little dicey, especially on high speed. Those tucks where you have to go a couple columns in tight space can just be so risky. And it looks like Archer might again be trying to just overcomplicate the setup. This has narrowed down the lead for Archer to 3 here, but Archer now starting to get back into a rhythm here. 24 to 26 here. A lot of red though on that top line for Resomatic.
Yeah, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. It depends on really how the pills go. If we see a double red blitz, it's going to look like the greatest thing ever. If we see not that, it can be a real problem. But so far, so good on Resomatic's side, as he has taken a small lead of. Oh, it is tied up. We're in their trading blows part of the game as Resmatic
Right.
misses the count. Happens all the time. So hoping for a red blue over on his side, and it's not going to come till after a double blue because we're in a double yellow blitz.
Yeah, and with no yellow accessible, that's going to be tough for Resomatic. Meanwhile, on Archer's side, Archer is hung up in column 7 and 8. Is going to have to get creative here and is really finding some good methods here. But you just see this kind of switchback of red yellow combinations ook on that left side. Really going to make under clearing a chore. And you're basically forced to go up top at this point.
Yeah, I was looking when it was like 10 to 11, and I was a little surprised that it was as close as it was because so much of Archer stuff is just hanging so high on the board.
Hmm.
However, that's the way it is sometimes. And I'm thinking it's going to be horizontals now. I think Archer's thinking the same thing. Um, these garbage clears are not helping that very much.
And this has
And
allowed Rez to really extend his lead again.
yeah, exactly. I do like this play. A red yellow going to be perfect for Archer. One more yellow. Here it is.
Archer had the red yellow before and threw it to the side. I wasn't sure about that. But it is a 14 virus lead here into level 10 for Resomatic. But if Archer can get a strong, first few moves here, can really be beneficial. So Archer's been playing, I think, a little too aggressively here. Just really want to just slow it down here, just get those quick, simple clears, and kind of stay in it. You are behind, but if you can just play with those fundamentals, you'll be in a good shape here, and a good clear here from Archer. But it is still about a 16 virus lead for Resomatic.
Yeah, and we're closing in on that last level. Although Resmatic not getting the pills that he wants to see, and you see the hesitation, that can be that could be an issue because the reds are just not coming out in this board. So we'll see. Oh, I like that setup. Resumatic hoping to, yeah, get this double red out of the way, drop this down, and now is pretty well set up for some combos, but still got some pieces buried there on the right hand side as Archer trying to claw his way back in what
Yeah.
has been a difficult 8 through 11 here for them.
Yeah. And Archer, I think, is just leaning again a little too much on that big combo game. And while it is nice to see a combo, you know, you just got to be very careful with what you do here. It's a good setup, but it's just when you stack everything like that, you really put yourself in a really tough position to get the rest of the board done. And Archer hasn't really applied anything to that right side, which is critical here. Resomatic is well into level 11 here, and it is 34 viruses to go here as Resomatic just continuing to stroll along.
Yeah, Resmatic kind of able to just kind of put things in cruise control right now. I don't want to do that too much because Archer is explosive when things come out just right. We've seen them really push, especially in that last game. But yeah, things are not looking great for Archer to be able to come away with a win on this one. We'll just have to see what goes down. I do like the smart uh, kind of limiting garbage drop time there for Archer as yeah,
And
they just had the same thought.
yeah, it was one of those. It was at this moment kind of
Yeah,
deals where there's nothing you can do, and you've got to just reset the setup you have. Which this is really uncharacteristic of Archer. Archer really, while is strong in the combo game, is great on that speed, and this is just again really uncharacteristic of what we're seeing of Archer. And Archer not able to get the flip, and yeah, it's when those moments stack upon each other, you just get frustrated, and it's just so much harder to focus. But out at an 833, but I definitely feel for Archer, not the game that they wanted to have for sure.
yeah. However, I might point out I see a blue end game.
That is true. There is a blue end game happening, but it is
Yeah, he's
just
gonna. Yeah,
an 854, and that puts Resomatic as our our September silver champion, which means we have just 1 month of speed to go before our end of year tournament.
absolutely. And we got word from Savage Octagon that the calendar for October will be up tomorrow. We are not starting qualifying until that calendar is up. So I know it's tempting, but hold off on that. And yeah, this will be our last month of 2024 for the speed tournament ahead of our invitational in December. JB, I know this is going to be we're looking forward to a good final month and just a good race towards a race for final spots there.